So, hello. I don't know if you already see my screen. Here you are. So, I'm Morgan. I'm a filmmaker and a photographer. So, I have a real passion with photography. This is the type of work I do. My thing is working with heavy materials, big medium format cameras, and trying to find and do things that other people have a hard time doing. You've seen plenty of pictures of people jumping at ski. What this one has in a difference is that we have brought a lot of material on top of a mountain with 5 people, big strobes, and the reason why we needed a medium format camera is that if you want to capture something fast with strobes, you need to have a central shutter. The other cameras cannot freeze that. So they cannot mix the sunlight and strobes that well. So what we did here, with these strobes in the medium format camera was that you have the sun in the back, that's not photoshopped, but you have all that light that comes from the front and from the side. So we control the whole thing. And what is the reason why this is my favorite image that I did is that it has something special. This is a test picture. The guy does the first jump when you can check the light if everything goes well. And he wanted to try something special without telling us, and he made a front flip instead of a back flip. So what he's doing there, actually, well, front instead of back. But he landed badly, and he hurt his back, and he couldn't jump afterwards. So it's 2 days of pre-production and a full day of production with a lot of people to build all that. And lucky enough for us, the picture turned out great. That's me. Now, on the side, I have a very nice hobby. And my definition of a hobby is when your wife calls you and it's your birthday and tells you that all your friends arrive, what holds you to keep being working and say, yes, I'll be there in 20 minutes and stay there for 1 more hour, is your hobby. And my hobby, lucky enough for me, is working at Adobe. I know it sounds completely cheesy, but imagine if you've been working with softwares for years and always thinking, this doesn't work, if only I could do it. And that years after that, someone calls you and asks you, do you want to do this? Do you want to fix all these things? That's what happened to me. I was a contributor, so all my photos I've always done for stock imagery. The magic in the stock industry is that you have no boss, you have no customer directly that asks you what they want, that pays you if it's successful or not. You do the best you can, you put it on the stock, and then if it was successful, if your guesses were good, if what you believed in your heart was the best thing you could do is true, you will make the sales and not somebody else. And we're talking about a 6 billion market that's completely open. Anyone can try. So for me, in terms of liberty of art, there's nothing better than stock. So that's what I've been doing for 10 years. After a few years, an issue arose that the system started to be broken. A lot of stock companies have started lowering their price and lowering the royalties that contributors earned, which was unfair. We're spending all the money on creating this art. We should be rewarded correctly. But that was the trend, that was how the market went. But luckily for me and for us, when Adobe bought Fotolia 2 years ago, Adobe's customers are photographers, and they care for photographers. So when they came to me and asked if I would take care of the contributor part, I came with a few requirements, and for the first time in years, they were heard. So Adobe has risen the number of royalties for contributors. We have the best average royalty for contributors. Adobe has risen the price a little bit. So now all of your art sells for a little bit more because they were able to add for customers useful things that made the customers say it was worth paying that price. All the integration in the tools means that we have these 7 million customers that are the Creative Cloud customers that look at all of your pictures and prefer to download them from there than anywhere else. It's so more convenient. In the end, what that means is that we can fix what got broken in the stock industry. What got broken in the stock industry was that since photographers started earning less money, either they started optimizing too much and you ended up with crappy, very stocky images, and it's sad because we're consuming so many images, it's sad that we keep seeing bad images all day long that are published. Or all these amateurs that you would have loved be able to spend more time getting better at doing pictures cannot afford to spend more time getting better. They all have a side job. All the magic of stock is once you start doing it, if you're good, at one point you can quit the job you don't like to only focus on the job you like. That's what getting fixed. That more and more people now start having it. We have a few examples that talked yesterday and that might talk tomorrow again. Why can they do that? I strongly believe that the way to fix the system is give more money to photographers, because a photographer that earns more money will reinvest that money into better shots. Your dream is to be able to rent a better camera, pay better models, pay a better location, and end up with an amazing picture more and more and more. And then the other thing I wanted to fix, and that's what I came to talk about today, is the way you submit content. You see, 10 years ago, for all great photographers, the big image companies gave service. They do the editing, they did the keywording, they did the titles, and so all great photographers, the only thing they had to focus on was being a good producer and a good photographer. Since then, we've pushed all of that work to contributors, and poor contributors have to spend the same amount of time creating content as to tagging them, adding the keywords, the titles, all these small administrative things that are really, really boring and pushing away people with great content to, in fact, send them and showing it to customers and having you see where it goes. So when I got the chance to start creating that tool, and my tool is giving all of you the ability to submit content easily, we came up with what they had in the Adobe Lab. So Adobe Lab is the coolest thing you can imagine in these big companies. Adobe has a concept that their engineers every once in a while can spend some month in a lab doing something that is not for money. They come up with an idea and they can dream. It's kind of a reward they have. And you would be amazed by what they have. Once a year at Max, they show this in the sneaks. And you see this technology, why is it not yet in the product? It's because the difference between what an engineer can create, amazing artificial intelligence, and integrating it is still a few years of work. In my product, and I'll show it now, you have a first step of this integration, which removes the pain of submitting your content. It's the auto keywording. And the keywords is the way your buyers will find your image. So there's a whole science behind putting your right keyword. It's a first step. By next year, I hope, my dream is that you don't even have to see the website anymore. You simply click on, I want to send this picture, and that picture is findable at the most optimized way. But let's start with what I have for you already today. So my usual flow after I edit a few pictures, you pick some of your albums, some that you like, here, and that's important. My demo is short because it doesn't take you too much time to do it. That's the whole magic behind it. You just drop it on the Adobe Stock Publishing program. It's here. You gotta spot it. You gotta look at it on your Lightroom. You dig for it if you don't find it straight away. It should be easy enough. But just look, it's here. When you are on it, you click Publish. Depending on how many of you are on my Wi-Fi right now, it can take a split second or a little bit more. Here it's going. At home, it should be very fast. Here you have a dialog asking you to go to Adobe Stock to finish that submission. And here we are going to talk about what you need to enter for your customers to find your image, for your best chance to sell. Remember, it's a $6 billion market. There is place for your great image. So usually you have to enter keywords. And here what we've done is that our artificial intelligence, which is still in beta, so you have to review the keywords. There might still be a few glitches here and there, but we learn from every change you do. For this image, for example, it gives me fish, aquarium, water, goldfish, animal, which is really good. I might decide to put goldfish on top because I think that my contributors, my buyers, are going to search for goldfish when they have that image in mind. And the order of your keywords is very important. And you can add up to 50 more keywords below. But the top keywords are the most important. Our algorithm looks at your top keywords first. So if a buyer searches for goldfish, he will not go and look for someone who's put goldfish in the 50 position. He's going to look for images that have goldfish in the first position. So you know the trade-offs that you have to do between fish and goldfish. That's where it goes. Let's look at this picture of my wife and child. It gave me bike, bicycle, child, family, woman. It's really good. I wouldn't really know what I should add on top of that. I could maybe add holidays, summer, some seasonal things, and then reorder them. This one is going to be a good one. That's going to be one if you push. Had I pushed it 2 weeks ago, it would have become a very good seller. 2 weeks ago is when buyers start looking for images of Halloween in America. So you suddenly see spikes of what it sells. It's important when you want to make money with your content to, if you want to keep earning money all year long, you should have a little bit of every type of content. You want to have some Halloween, you want to have some Christmas, you want to have some business. You want to make sure that your money doesn't drop suddenly because you only have pictures of summer that will not sell for the winter campaigns. So there's opportunities raising everywhere. If you can sometimes dig in the catalog and see, oh, I have this that I can shoot very close to my home and nobody else has shot it. It doesn't cost me anything. Let's try it. Let's upload it. Let's see in a few weeks if it makes money. If it starts making money, you just do more of this. That's what we call a niche. Niches, when you find them, you keep them for yourself and you make lots of money with them. Other tags that we have, cloud, family, holidays, great. Mine here. See, that's the type of glitches. That's why we keep showing these keywords to you. It's not a snowboard, but our technology was not able to detect that here, but it's okay. So it's a skier. I need at least 5 keywords. Skier. I could add sun, and maybe extreme, and maybe sport. So, since I was explaining everything, it seemed a bit slower, but let me show you how I finalize a submission. I just need to add a title, which here will be ski jump, let's say that. And then the category will be sports. I need a model release for that. So when you can recognize a model on a picture, or at least when he can recognize himself, he will, because he will never forget how bad he hurt his back. I need to add a model release. It's an authorization. You can download the template, make him sign, and re-upload it. So here it is. Let's say it's Benoit. And once you're done with a few other images, you save your work. You just click on submit. And here I have one, but you will have all of your images when you have add titles everywhere. You click on submit and you're done. Your image will be sent to our team. We manually check every image and we accept or reject them based on the legal requirements. So you must have a release for every person that is in it, and you should not put brands in your images. And there's a technical check, so we check if there's too much grain, if the images are blurred, the quality, to make sure that buyers on Lightroom, on Photoshop, on Illustrator, when they buy your image, they always end up with an amazing image, which means that they will trust all of us and keep buying more. So what happens after that is you start making sales. So you track your sales. You see the total of sales you do, the total of earnings you have, and on every image, you can see number of sales, number of views. And every once in a while, you simply click here, and you request a payout of your sales, and you get cash. As simply as that. So to make it short, without all the long explanation, you're in Lightroom, you drop images in the plugin here. Once you arrive on the website, you add a title, you check your keywords, add a category, and click on submit. All of you here must be photographers. I bet that all of you have at least 10 amazing images. When I say amazing, I really think amazing images a year in your portfolio. And it's simply sleeping there. You could simply click on publish and see how much money you get every year. And it's on and on. That your 10 amazing images might sell thousands of times for the coming 10 years. So it's an endless opportunity. It's a very agreeable way to make money, shoot more, learn more about the money you should do, because all the feedback you have is always reality. It's not some bullshit feedback from a customer. He has bought it because he liked your image most after you shot it, and that is the best feedback you can have. That's it.